Wallace's Art Studio. I am so glad to have you here today. I want to talk a little bit about our theme for this year. Our theme is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and believe that there is good in the world and that we should try to be the good. One way that we can be the good is that we can listen. Being a good listener is a really good skill that you can use throughout your whole life. So we want to know, how can I be a good listener? So we want to think about, how can I be a good listener? What can I do? Well, the first thing is know that you've got 2 ears. So I want to listen twice as much as I talk. The next way that we can be a good listener is to pay attention to what that person is saying. If someone's talking directly to you, you want to look at their face or look at that person and say, I'm paying attention to what you're saying. Instead of, you're talking to me? Oh, I got stuff to think about over here. No, when someone's talking to you, look at them. Pay attention to what they're saying to you. It helps for understanding. You can't understand what somebody's saying if you're not looking at them and paying attention to what they're saying. Next, I want you to think about what that person is telling you. Are they trying to get you to understand something from school? Or are they trying to get you to relate to how they feel about something? If someone's telling you, look, this really affected my life because it made me feel this way. You want to look at that person and think about what they're saying. And you want to think, how can I relate to that, what they're telling me? Do I feel the same way they do? Maybe. Something else you can do to understand when someone is talking and you're listening to them is to ask questions. You want to try to understand what they're saying. So if you're processing and you're thinking, what are they saying to me? I really don't understand what they said there. Maybe I need to ask something. So ask questions and say, I really want to understand how you're feeling. I really want to understand what you're trying to show me. So let me ask you this question. Let them know that you're trying to hear what they're saying. Everybody wants to be heard, don't we? When I'm talking, I want you to hear me. And when you're talking to your friends, you want them to hear you. So we want to understand each other. And that is part of the being good in the neighborhood and believing that there is good out there in the world. Because if we believe that there is good, then we want to listen and we want to hear and understand what someone is saying to us. It's such a good theme for this year, and I hope that everybody is thinking about what I'm saying, because that makes you a good listener. This week I found something really fun for us to draw. It's this chameleon. I like chameleons because they're lizards that they change colors with things that they're laying next to. So our chameleon is going to have a rainbow of colors when we get through with it. All right, to start off with our chameleon, we're going to use these easy steps to get the right shapes. Step number 1 is we are going to draw a line straight across. I hope that you've been practicing your shape, so you're practicing your drawing as well. So a line, and then I need another line up like that. So it's basically an upside down T. So step 1, line, line. Step 2 is I'm going to connect these 2 lines with a semicircle. Semicircle just means not a complete circle. So I'm going to start down here, and I'm going to angle up to there. There we go. So step number 2 is to make a bit of a half a circle right there, or a semicircle. Step number 3 is I'm going to do the same thing on this other side, but I'm not going to connect it at the top. I'm going to connect it down just a little bit, like right about here. And I'm going to come up and come down like that. So step 3 is come down just a little off the top and drop down. That's step 3. Step 4 is we're going to put the eyes and the feet on. Okay, so the eye on a chameleon, you know, they're lizard eyes, so they're a little wonky. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a big circle. I hope you've been practicing your shapes. So a circle. Then our inside circle is going to be a little smaller, and it's going to be touching on this side. So a little bit smaller, touching on this side. And then our last little inside of his eye will be another circle right inside, right there. So all of those are touching. Now we're not going to color in any of the eye because it gives it that lizard look when it has these layers. All right, so next step is we're going to put feet on him. And we're not going to draw claws necessarily like some lizards have, but we're just going to put feet because, you know, this is a fun little chameleon. And so we're just going to make a loop. There's one foot. And the other loop, I'm going to start right where the T is and go this way. Foot, foot. All right, so that is step 4. Step 4 is the eye and the 2 feet. All right, step 5 is the tongue. Lizard tongues are very long, but this little guy is going to have his tongue rolled up. Now, drawing a swirly shape sometimes can be rough, but you know what? If you practice drawing, then you might be able to figure out the movement to get that swirly shape to swirl in. Okay, we're going to start the tongue right here, and we're going to go out and start swirling. And we're going to roll up his tongue to about there. Okay, so he's got a swirly tongue. Now, if you want to practice this part before you put it on your chameleon, perfectly fine. No problem. Practice before you finish. Now, if you mess it up, hey, you can start over. No big deal. Just start this video over and you can draw it, okay? All right. The next step is the tail. All right, now the tail is sort of like the tongue, only it's going in this other direction. And it's also closed off. So see how the tongue is swirled, but there's not more to it? The tail is your swirling, but then you're going back out to complete the tail shape. Swirl down and then back out. You may want to practice this before you put it on your chameleon. All right, let's try it. I'm going to start right where this line is, and I'm going to come out. Then when I get there, I'm going to start headed back in the other direction. That's the end of his tail. And now I'm going back in the other direction. All right, and we're going to connect it up here somewhere. Okay, so that is step 6, is to draw the tail. Again, the direction is down, make the little end of the tail, and then start going back up. All right? All right, the last step we're going to take is to put the stripes on him, and this is where we're going to put our rainbow colors in. Okay, so let's start putting some lines on his back. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. And then on his tail, I'm going to make some as well. Just lines in his tail so that you'll know where your extra colors are going to go. And one right on the tip. Okay, so now you have your stripes on your back and stripes on the tail. Now your chameleon is ready to color. At the end of this video, what I'll do is I'll put freeze frames of each of these steps for you so that you can stop the video and practice drawing each step. Then you can make your chameleon just the way you'd like for it to be. When you get done drawing your chameleon, then you're ready to color. And you don't have to make him rainbows like what we did here, but it would be neat if you did. So his head's kind of green and then the rainbow here. And then his tail is a different rainbow. It's more blues and purples, just to give it a little different definition. And then of course give him something to sit on and make a scene if you like. Have fun with it. I hope you enjoyed our project today, and I hope you'll come back next week. I hope that you enjoyed doing this project with me today. If you did, hit the like button on this video and be sure to subscribe for future content to Teacher Wallace on YouTube.